Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I see Shubham, Abhi, Abhishek, Amit, Ashish, Ashutosh, Devesh, Jay, Karan, Kirti, Lalit, Manish. Hi all, hi guys. Mehta, Pooja, Ravi Kumar, Rishabh, Sunil, Vaisha, Varun, Vijay, Yusuf, Mohit. Good afternoon to everybody. We'll just give it a couple of minutes to see if other people want to log in and then we'll start. Can you see my screen? Great. Okay, so we have 40 plus participants. I think we can start now. So the way we'll take this, guys, is I'm going to give you a brief presentation, a brief explanation, I mean, not a presentation, on my trading system, on the way I work when the market is on. And I will give you an understanding of the indicators and of the strategies that I make a use of. And you can give me some time, give me at least about 15 to 20 minutes to talk on my own. And then you can make it interactive. You can ask questions as we go along once the basic introduction part is over. Is that fine? Okay. So this is basically what my
Yeah,
screen
okay.
looks like. This is trading view. And at any point of time, I have 4 different chart templates open on my screen. What they are, I will explain to you. Uh, each one has a different purpose, and I will explain about it to you in detail. But this is the basic setup I have, 4 different chart templates on TradingView. Okay. Now, guys, I'm assuming here that we already have a basic understanding of technical analysis. Some of you might even be having a pretty good understanding of it. And I assume that everybody is familiar with basic trend lines and RSI and ADX and all of that. So I'm not going to talk much about RSI as an indicator, though we will be using it. I assume that RSI is well known to everybody who's attending this session, and it does not need to go in. I don't need to go in depth into it because a lot of material is available online on RSI, and anyone can browse through that material to make themselves familiar with it if you are not already. Now, the full form of RSI is Relative Strength Index, right? What we are going to talk about today, which is going to be our core topic of learning today, is something called just relative strength, not relative strength index. So it is just a coincidence that this two words, relative strength, are common between RSI and RS, relative strength, that we are going to discuss. Otherwise, there is absolutely no commonality between the two. Please do not confuse relative strength with RSI. RSI is a very different indicator. What does RSI tell us? RSI is a momentum oscillator. It tells us the change in price in the last, typically we take 14-day RSI. So it tells us the change in price and the momentum thereof on upside and downside in the last 14 days. Okay. So let's say out of 14 days, for maybe 7 or 8 days, we had per day 1% increase in the price of the security we are analyzing, and another day we had a 0.8% decline in the price. We would typically get an RSI value of somewhere around 52 to 55%, 52 to 55, because mostly it was a divided price action with the bulls winning by a small margin. So that is RSI. We are not discussing RSI today at all. Please be clear. What we are going to talk about is relative strength, not to be confused with RSI. Again, I repeat. So what is relative strength? So RSI is measuring the increase or decrease in the price of that instrument in a certain time period, right? So it is related with only the momentum of price of the same security. Supposing we are talking about Wipro. So RSI will measure the price change in Wipro in the last 14 days and give us a value from that. Relative strength, on the other hand, is something which will compare the performance of the security that we are analyzing against a certain benchmark. So in this case, our benchmark is Nifty because, right, that is the index that has been designed for us to analyze the markets. So our benchmark in Indian market is Nifty. So when we are talking about relative strength, it is a measure of the performance of the security we are analyzing vis-a-vis the Nifty compared to the Nifty. So if our security has increased by price, has increased in price by say 5% during a certain period, and during that same time, Nifty has risen by 1%. So our script is outperforming Nifty, which means it is an outperforming script. So it will have a positive relative strength. The relative strength for this script will be high. On the other hand, if Nifty has risen 2% and our script is down by 1%, then our script will be said to have negative relative strength. So it is underperforming the Nifty. Is this clear? Is the basic concept of
Yes.
relative strength clear? Can you just type and let me know in the chat box?
I think it is fine. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, Nick is fine.
Okay. So the basic concept is clear about relative strength. So also in the same vein, if we talk about, let's say market falls, like tomorrow might be, I don't know, a bad opening. Anyway, you people know my view on market right now. So tomorrow, let's say the market falls. We have a collapse in Nifty to the extent of 1%. So maybe my script also falls. Maybe it falls by 0.5% as opposed to Nifty falling by 1%. So what will the relative strength line do? The relative strength line will still go up because our script has outperformed the benchmark, which is Nifty. Nifty has fallen by 1%. Our script has fallen, but it has fallen only by 0.5%. So even in this instance, the relative strength will show an increase. It will show an upward trajectory. Okay. This should be clear. So relative strength is positive when our script is outperforming the Nifty. That can be either by rising more than the Nifty does or by falling less than the Nifty does. In both instances, the relative strength line will be upward sloping. Okay. Now, how relative strength is useful to us is through an indicator, which I want to introduce to all of you today. It is there in TradingView. So if you go on this indicator section here and you type RS, relative strength, you will get this relative strength indicator by Mr. Modelius. You can see this here. I have it selected on my screen. I typed relative strength. I was searching for indicators. So I went to the indicator section and I typed relative strength. So it is giving me a lot of indicators. I will choose this one by Modelius because he has developed the code for it and he has put the formula for relative strength to give us an indicator which will show us how our script is performing against the Nifty in a very easy fashion without us having to actually do the formula calculations in Excel or anything. So I will add this indicator to my chart template. You see this line here, RS. So this is the relative strength indicator which I have just added, made by Mr. Modelius. Here, when you add the default indicator, it will be on the US markets. So you have to just go to settings, inputs, and here you will type Nifty. So you'll be seeing SPX here, which is the S&P US market. You will make this as Nifty to utilize for Indian market. And the period that we are going to use is 55. This is because typically we want to be in a script which is outperforming the Nifty for the last 3 months. So if a script is a outperformer in the last 3 months as compared to Nifty, we want to be a buyer in that script. So 3 months more or less equals to about 60 days, and 60 is an odd number, so 55 is a Fibonacci number. So more or less equivalent to 3 months is what we get by choosing this period as 55. So once we have made these settings, we have changed the market to Nifty and we have changed the period to 55, then we are ready with analysis of relative strength. So for example, here I have the Gujarat Ambuja chart open. So you can find here that the relative strength has been on an upward trajectory and it is making new highs. This is the zero line. So zero is basically when it will be at zero if the script is doing exactly the same performance as Nifty is doing in the last 3 months. If it is performing better than Nifty, then it will be then relative strength will be positive. If it is performing worse than Nifty, the relative strength will be negative. It will be below zero. So we can see here it has gone well above zero, which means the script is outperforming Nifty and it is making new highs. You can see here, this is the last high, it's making new highs. So this script is a strong script. I will ask you to ignore this right side of the chart right now, the 2-hour window. You will not be analyzing the 2-hour chart right now. First, try and just familiarize yourself with how this relative strength strategy works on a daily basis. This is the daily chart on the left-hand side. Here we have also added RSI, which is our typical old indicator. So this basically looking at these three together, here you can see there is a price breakout in Gujarat Ambuja. Last high was this. And here I have used the line chart, as you can see, instead of using candlestick chart, I've used a line chart because line chart gives the takes the prices on closing basis. It is much easier to analyze. It has less noise. So for our purpose here, you can either utilize a candlestick chart if that's what you're familiar with, then you'll change it to candles here, or I personally prefer the line chart because it just eliminates all the noise, gives me only the closing values, and based on that, the analysis becomes easier. So here we can see that it was Gujarat Ambuja script had made a last high on 4th of March around 146, and last trading day it has broken that high. It has gone above that high. Relative strength also has made a new high, and RSI we want in bullish territory. What is RSI bullish territory? Bullish territory is anything which is upwards of 50. Anything north of 50 is bullish. Anything south of 50 is kind of neutral, and 30 of course is very bearish. So we don't want to buy scripts where RSI is less than 50. So we are just having this RSI here to check that yes, RSI is above 50. So it is showing 67. We are in a good zone. Relative strength making a new high, price breakout. So we will be buying this script and we will keep a initial target of around 10%, 8 to 10% up move we want on the script. Once these conditions, three conditions have been fulfilled. There's a price breakout, there's a breakout on the relative strength chart, and there is RSI is above 50. So when all three conditions have been satisfied, we will take this trade for a minimum target of 10% and 8 to 10%. And once the trade moves in our favor, that is, we are making money in the trade by even 5%, we will trail the stop loss to our cost so that we don't make a loss on this trade. Is that clear? Once the trade, if I buy here at 147, so once the trade moves in favor by 5%, which means once the price of the script becomes 154 rupees, then I will trail my stop loss to cost. I will trail my stop loss to be 147. So that in case things turn south, I'm still not making a.
अरे अपना फाइट में बोले ले लो, हम बाद में खरीद दे लेगा तुमसे, तो रजिस्ट्री तुमको लोन देंगे.
Yeah, I'm sorry, somebody was disturbing. I have muted him. So we will trail the stop loss to our cost. As the trade continues to move in our favor, if it continues to do well, then we will keep trailing our stop loss by 3%. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Nick, you are audible.
Yeah, so am I making sense till now?
Yes.
This is basically a trading system which is supposed to identify trades where you can get an immediate up move and immediately the trade should go in your favor. This is not a pullback strategy. This is not a strategy where we have to wait it out. This is a breakout trading system. So breakout means it should move in your momentum, should be in your favor immediately. This is what we get here. Now we look at any other chart, like some of the other stocks that I identified, which were looking strong. So Aarti Industries. Again, we see here, price has broken out to a new high. The RS chart has broken out to a new high, and RSI is also bullish. So this can be another trade that we take. When we enter the trade, our stop loss will be here somewhere, just a little below this maybe. Somewhere on 1520 will be our stop loss. Then as the trade moves in our favor, we will trail our stop loss to cost so that we don't make it a loss-making trade. And then we can carry the trade based on every significant increase that happens, we trail that by 3% to make sure that we are always sitting on profits. This is the basic strategy. This is based completely on relative strength and breakout in the relative strength chart along with the price chart. ISI also being bullish in terms of being above 50. This can also be used for shorting. That is when there is a price breakdown and there's a breakdown in the relative strength chart and ISI is below 50, then that script would be something we want to short. Now, I think the next question will be, you people will ask, how did I identify a script like Aarti Industries or anything else? So there are certain scans which are utilized for that. 1 minute. So there is this software from Define Edge Solutions called TradePoint, which I use. They have a good scanning mechanism. This is a relative strength scanner. As you can see here, it's saying relative strength. So I select FNO stocks here as the segment of stocks that I want to scan. The denominator as to which is the benchmark with which I want to compare, it will be Nifty 50. And I'm looking for bullish breakout. So I choose a double top buy, which means what this essentially means is that on the PNF charts, point and figure charts, of the details of which right now I'm not going because that is a comprehensive subject by itself, but I'm just showing you the scanning mechanism, how it takes into account relative strength. So I have chosen the category of stocks as my universe being FNO stocks. The denominator is Nifty. I want to compare the performance of all FNO stocks with Nifty. And I want the software to tell me which are the scripts which are generating a double top buy pattern, which is a PNF bullish pattern. I run scan. It is scanning all the stocks in the FNO universe, 158 scripts. And it is going to give me a result. I will further sort this result. I will further reduce the number of stocks I get from this. I'll show you how I do that. So these are all the stocks which have generated a double top buy pattern as per relative strength. What it means is these are stocks which have outperformed Nifty and given a breakout. I save this group as, let's say, relative strength by RS buy for 3rd May. Let's say, I'll just give that name. I save this stock, these stocks to a group. Then instead of selecting FNO stocks as my universe, I select that particular group which I just made, RS buy. RS buy. I select this group here as the stocks to scan from, and RS buy 3rd May. Within those stocks also, now I'm scanning for which are the stocks that are giving me a breakout buy right now. This is the second scan I'm running on those set of stocks. So these are the stocks. As you can see, the list has become pretty small now. Aarti Industries, Balkrishna Industries, Deepak Nitrite, Divi's, Emphasis, Alco, NMDC, SAIL, SRF, Sun TV, Tata Steel, and Vedanta. So these are the only stocks I want to now look for buying. In these stocks, I will be looking for a buy pattern. So what I can do now, once I have these names, I can go to my RS chart and I can check each chart individually. Let's say I check Divi's. So as you can see, Divi's, there is a price breakout, which has already happened some time back. It happened somewhere around here, 38.70. Now the relative strength chart seems to be heading towards a new high. If this makes a new high, this will again become a fresh buy. RSI is well above 50, and relative strength chart, if it gives a breakout here, makes a new high, it will again become a buy here for a 10% trade at the very minimum. So Divi's is like this. We can look at, let's say, Deepak Nitrite. Again, same scenario. See, you can automatically see the stocks which are showing up in the scanner for relative strength, which are showing positive relative strength. You can see the RS chart, how they are shaping up. Everywhere we are seeing either a new breakout is happening, a fresh breakout is happening on the RS chart, or it has already happened. So these are stocks which I would like to, if I want to buy, I want to buy these stocks. I will be selecting from these stocks. Similarly, I can also run scans for weakness, where it will show me which are the stocks that are relatively weak. And then I can also use that to short the stocks. So this is the basic system which I use to scan the stocks, and then I look at the charts. Is that clear? Do we have any questions at this time?
Nikunj, what
Yeah,
you showed, it's clear to a bit, but it was all went so fast. Can you just go slow on this define edge and just let us know what are the option you have selected? Because the option that you selected, they are in abbreviation form, and it was not very clear what they mean. If you can just give a 5 minutes to that.
Yes, I can. The reason I did not spend too much time on the Define Edge software was it's a paid software. I'm not sure how much everybody will want to use it. So I was just trying to show my system as to how I identify stocks. If we want to go into the details, I can spend some more time on it.
If it is useful, then definitely we can also have a subscription of the software.
Okay, so this is one. There's another, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with. Stock Edge also has scans. You can also utilize Stock Edge to identify stocks which you want to buy or sell. This is Stock Edge. So I go to my Stock Edge, and I have put some combo scans here. So you see these combo scans? In combo scans, oh, I'm not logged in. Just 1 minute. I usually utilize Stock Edge on my phone, not on the laptop. So yeah, so now I'm logged in. So here also I have put some combo scans which I utilize to identify stocks at the end of the day. Stock Edge is an end of day scanning software, so you won't get results during the day. It has to be done end of the day. So here there is an outperforming relative strength. This is a scan I have put. If you see the criteria for the scan, higher trade and delivery quantity, price should be crossing the last week high, should be closing above the previous high, stock outperforming benchmark index, which is Nifty, in both 1 week and 3 months. So in our RS chart, what we are looking at is outperformance over 3 months. And in Stock Edge, in the scan, I'm getting outperformance in both 1 week and 3 months. So this criteria I have put. This is one of my favorite scans. So it gives me the stocks. Couple of them are a perfect match, and the others are almost there. They might be missing on one criteria. So that is why they are not in the perfect match. So you can either utilize Stock Edge as a scanning software, or Define Edge is obviously far more comprehensive, and it is taking into account a lot of different factors. So it depends on your preference. Whichever scan, I mean, there are lots of other websites also where you can run scans to find out which stocks you should be looking at the charts of. So you can utilize any of them. The basic idea is to have some scanning mechanism to identify which stocks you want to take a look at. And then you look at those charts in TradingView, and you definitely look at the RS chart, because this is going to talk to you about the immediate up move. For example, if you, let's say we talk about HDFC Bank. So if you see this, the relative strength line is downward trending. You can see this, it's trending down. So this is telling you that this stock is in a downtrend. It's clearly telling you that this stock is not having any strength vis-a-vis Nifty. We want to be buyers in stocks that are exhibiting strength, not weakness. Again, I repeat, I am not a pullback trader. I don't buy into weakness, and we should not be buying into weakness. Market is a function of demand and supply. We want to be buying scripts where there is demand from buyers, where people are coming to buy even if market is weak. That is the kind of scripts we want to be buying. We don't want to be buying scripts like this where the relative strength line is downward trending, because this is going to probably fall worse than the Nifty when the market falls, and it's definitely going to perform worse than the Nifty. So we want our scripts to be outperformers, not underperformers. So this RS chart will immediately give you the picture about what is happening in that stock. And to come to the scanning mechanism again, which you asked. So this is the web version of TradePoint. They have two versions. One is the offline version and the other is the online web version. So this is the online web version that I'm using. There's a research tab here. We go here after we open the software. Research. Under research, there's a scanner. So we use the relative strength scanner, PNF, point and figure relative strength scanner. Select category of stocks as FNO stocks, because that is a universe we want to scan. Supposing we want to scan from Nifty 500, we can do that also. There's a Nifty 500 here. We can utilize that also. But for the time being, let us just go with the FNO stocks, because that is the broader universe in which everyone would be dealing. Denominator would be Nifty 50, because that is what I'm comparing against as my benchmark. Scanner type would be double top buy. So we are selecting category of stocks as FNO stocks, denominator is Nifty 50, scanner type is double top buy, and we hit scan. So it will generate all that, the entire list of stocks that we earlier saw, which we then named into, we saved as a separate group, and we named RS by 3rd May. Once we have done this, then again we hit scanner. Now we go to, instead of relative strength scanner, earlier we went to PNF relative strength scanner. Now we go to PNF scanner, point and figure scanner. There we select the stocks that we just put in the group, RS by 3rd May. So these are stocks which are already showing relative strength. That is what the first scan gave us. That stocks that are showing a double top buy on basis of relative strength, they are the only stocks we have put in this group. So now we are only scanning that group of stocks for further bullish breakout, where I have defined my own system. My user system is this, where it's a double top buy and CCI is positive. So I hit scan again. It is just going to scan from this group of stocks, and it is giving me this list, which we finally got of the 10, 11 stocks, which I was talking about earlier. So this is the scanning mechanism. It's pretty simple. I mean, if anyone is going to use it, any doubts about this that comes when you start using, you can always reach out to me. I'll be happy to clarify. Okay, let me just go through the chat box. Let me see if there are any questions. What's the stop loss in the start when we take the position? So typically stop loss would be as per the chart. You would have to pick up the chart and see where the stop loss has to be placed. For example, let's say Nalco. So Nalco gave me a breakout here can see here, this was the previous high around 62.15. It gave a breakout when it went past that. Relative strength chart is also showing upward trending and making new highs. RSI is above 50. So I would be buying Nalco here above 62. So my stop loss would be somewhere around here, 59.3. So this is as per chart. You have to see it on the chart and you have to identify the stop loss. We should not keep a stop loss based on a random number like a 5% or a 10%. It should be based on the chart, I feel. But generally speaking, if you are working as per this system, and if you have identified the trade properly, where there is a price breakout, there's a breakout on the RS chart and RSI is above 50, there is very little chance that your stop loss is going to get hit. So you can keep a small stop loss and it will work. This is based on my experience of last many years. I'm telling you that this system really works like a beauty. Okay, let's see what are the other questions. PNF double top scan is okay, but second level screening, please kindly elaborate. Okay, I just repeated that. And if there is a further question, try it out. It's pretty simple. If there's further question, feel free to reach out to me. I'll help you with it. IS concept, does it work on lower time frame like 1 minute? No. 1 minute time frame is too small a time frame to utilize for RS chart. I don't know, maybe you can try it. I have never done so. What I have done is I also utilize a 2-hour chart on the RS, which is on the right hand side of my screen. So this can give you short-term trades. You know what happens here is this RS indicator will turn positive or negative. It can change every 2 hours. So based on that, if you want to do short-term trading, this can be one system you can utilize. But what I can tell you is that it works beautifully with a daily chart on a more longer time frame. There, the trades have a very high success ratio. On the 2-hour chart also, the RS chart can flip-flop between increase and decrease, and it can throw you out of the trade quickly. So this should be an added reference if at all you want to consider short-term trading, but your basic main primary chart has to be the daily chart. I've never tried less than 2 hours, so I have no idea how much it would work. You can try it. Maybe you can develop some strategy which works for that. But I am not very sure about that. I don't do that kind of short-term trading actually, so I don't know. You'll have to try it out. Can you please show what all parameters you used in StockEdge for scanning? Sure. I'll just open it up again. And there are plenty of scans that I have on StockEdge. I just showed you my favorite one. So you can play around with the criteria. I mean, there are lots of things that can happen here. First thing is that you take a premium membership of StockEdge because then it gives you this facility to make combo scans. Otherwise, you run a single scan only. You cannot run a combination of lot of different factors in the same scan. So take a premium membership, hardly costs anything. It's very cheap. Then you get this combo scan facility. Here you can build a lot of things into your scans because as you can see, when I go to this outperforming relative strength scan, I have a host of different criteria I put in here. See, higher trade and delivery, close crossing last week high, price is closing above previous high, stock is outperforming benchmark index in both 1 week and 3 months, and strongly outperforming benchmark index, increasing relative strength. So you see all my scans, all my trading is based on relative strength. That is the key philosophy which I swear by, and I can tell you that it works better than anything else in the market. And there is a lot of application of this relative strength theory, not just to stocks, but to identify sectors to trade. So this is my template for identifying sectors. So as you can see, here I have taken the RS period as 14 days. So in the stock RS, we are having period as 55 days, which is equivalent to 3 months. For sectors, 3 months become too long a time, so it will not give the desired result. So for sectors, what I have found is it helps to make the period as 14 days, and then you can utilize the RS chart to identify outperforming sectors also. So, I mean, in fact, you people must have seen that I have been posting, whenever a sector is about to show strength, whether it is pharma, IT, Recently, it was financial services and banks. So whenever it is about to happen, just before that, I am giving a post that this sector is looking good now. This sector should outperform. That is based on this analysis here, where the relative strength starts going up above zero, like it is happening in this case of, this is the PSE index, Public Sector Enterprises Index. As we know, on Friday, most of the stocks on this basket were outperforming. So here, if you find, this breakout had almost been done on Friday, but then because the market fell towards the end, it came back down below the trend line. If this again shows strength on Monday, if this goes up above this trend line, and the relative strength line, RS line, is already above zero and showing strength, RSI is above 50 showing strength, then this would be a breakout. Otherwise, this would be a failed breakout if it falls below, if it continues below this trend line. So I have put all the sectors over here on the right hand side, whether it is IT, pharma, FMCG, realty, auto, everything we can identify, we can look at. This is the FMCG index. I have been saying that it looks bearish for a while now. See what has happened in this, the FMCG index. This is a basic short-term trend line, broken below that. Okay. Look at what the RS line is doing, relative strength line. It's also fallen below zero, heading downwards. So FMCG looks pretty weak to me. Pharma has again started showing strength. Here we see the relative strength line is above zero and started to move up. And also here we have a breakout in the pharma index where it has gone past its previous levels. So pharma is definitely looking strong. So this way we can analyze any sector. This is a private bank index. Again, we can see no strength here. We can look at, say, Bank Nifty. See, you can see the relative strength line is again turning down towards zero. It's not even breaking above the trend line. So this relative strength is utilized not just for stocks. This is my chart template for stocks. This is my template for identifying sectors. Both of these are extremely useful because we want to be in an outperforming sector and then pick an outperforming stock from that sector. Okay. So I've shown you two of my chart templates. The third, I don't know if we should talk about it today. This is also based on the concept of relative strength, but it's slightly different in that this is a spread chart. So do we want to take this up now, or should we talk a little bit more about what we have discussed so far? Please let me know.
Nikun, just one question.
Yeah.
In the last chart that where you were explaining about where you have identified the sectors, there you have some different setting for the RS.
Yes.
So how exactly it is different from the one that we were using previously, the one that you showed with the 55 days and things like that?
Yeah, that is because for stocks, we want to be buying stocks which have shown outperformance for at least 3 months vis-a-vis the Nifty. So we only want to buy stocks if they have last 3 months they have outperformed the Nifty, then we want to be a buyer in that stock. So here the period is 55 days to make it equivalent to 3 months. In sectors, what I have found is the sector rotation happens very frequently in the market. When the market wants to throw people off, it will suddenly bounce out from a sector which was looking strong and get into a sector which was hitherto looking very weak. So in this case, if we take 55 days, which is 3 months, it will not give us the desired results. What I have seen, I have tried with 55 here also. It does not give the desired results because we are very late in identifying the trade that time. In my experience, sector rotation in the market is happening every 14 days. So that is why I have taken the 14-day period here instead of 55 to be able to identify the sectors properly. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Nikun, thank you very much.
Okay, now let us.
So I have a question also.
Yeah.
Like, hello, yeah. Actually, in the chart wherein you were explaining us about the stocks, if you can just explain in brief about the first chart. I think there it was a super trend was written over there. So what are the parameters that you're taking over there? Yes, sir, the first one.
So super trend I do not consider. You can see it is hidden. I mean, I don't look at it. It is just
so this
there
is just
by
basically a daily chart. This is just a basically daily volume chart. That's it.
Yeah, this is just a basic price chart on the top.
Right.
The most important chart
price
is the middle
and volume.
one.
Right.
Yeah, the middle one is the most important one, which is the relative strength chart. This I give a lot of
This is
importance to.
against, yes, relative strength with regards to Nifty for 55 days, how it is
Correct.
performing.
Correct. Basically, what it
Correct,
means is
right.
that in last 3 months, how much my stock has performed vis-a-vis Nifty. If Nifty has gone up 5%, whether my stock has gone up
Right.
more than 5% or less than 5% in the last 3 months. This is that measure.
Correct.
Hello.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Sir, I have, right. One more question, sir, I would like to interrupt. Let's say, for example, if you take into consideration Deepak Nitrite, like it's been having a run since 700 rupees. It has almost reached like 1800, 1900. So like, I want to understand, I mean, how do we understand once it has reached lifetime high, it is just, the stock is just rallying like anything. How do we judge till what a stock can rally? How do we know like what could be the price it will rally up to? Like it is showing strength, agreed. But till what maximum level it will rally? Can we identify that, or it is just assumption that this much percentage it will rise?
No, see, in trading, that is not our objective to identify that this is the price at which the stock will stop. That is not our job
Okay.
in trading. That is, as an investor, we try and work out the value of a business, and we ascribe
Right.
a certain price to the stock based on a valuation of the business, the market capitalization, the debt on their books, and all of that factors. That is what we need to do as an investor. As a trader, our job is to follow the price pattern. And if the price is telling us it wants to go up further 10% from here, we take that trade.
Okay.
And of course, we have a
Okay.
stop loss in there after that.
Right, right. So there's no exit strategy as such that, you know, we should exit once it rallies, let's say 5 more percent. We'll just keep, apply a stop loss and wait till the time you cannot identify that, right?
No, you trail your stop loss upwards. So what happens is, supposing it moves up by 10%. So then you will
Right.
not wait till your cost comes back to exit the trade, right? Otherwise, you will miss out on that 10% profit you are making. So then we will
Right.
keep a trailing stop loss of 3%. If it comes down below by 3% also, we will exit. Because these are short-term trades. We are not here to be in the business or participate as investor. We are talking about right now trading for a few days. So each position we are holding for a few days only.
Okay. Right. Understood.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, like, if you, as we have taken the Nalco chart vis-a-vis the Nifty thing, so should we take the Nalco chart vis-a-vis the sectors index, or it should be better to take with the Nifty thing?
No, when we are looking at any stock, we will compare with Nifty. We will not compare with the sector.
But why not with the sector? Why not with the sector? Because if
you
sector
can
is
do
outperforming that,
you can do it. I would.
I think so. Yeah.
See,
Yeah, that would. Yeah.
Typically, Nifty is comprised of what? Nifty is comprised of the top 50 companies in a country, right?
Correct.
So,
Correct.
if your stock is outperforming the top 50 companies of the country, that's good enough for us. But if you want to look at it, you can. So, for example,
so I think so.
Then I would.
I think so. That would be.
Chart. So here I would say I would type National Aluminium. Okay, I press the down arrow key, then I press the divide key, and I type CNX metal, which is the metal index. Enter. This will give me that result. This is now giving me. Let me shut this moving average off. This is now giving me the Nalco chart compared to the metal index, which is what you were talking about. I can convert this into a line chart if I feel like, instead of a candlestick. I can do that.
Okay. So in this chart, how can you find out a breakout thing, and how can you trail the stop loss and everything?
So for that, in fact, I utilize this chart, which is what I was wondering whether I should discuss it today or not. Let me tell you what this is.
Okay.
Here I have added an indicator called CRS. Okay. If you go to indicators and you search for CRS, you will get something called comparative relative strength by this person VITV LKV. So this indicator I have added, and I changed the setting also here from SPX to Nifty, just like I did in that chart. I've changed it to Nifty. Now what this is doing is, whenever I type any script name here, let's say Tata Steel BSL, what this is giving me is the spread chart of Tata Steel BSL over Nifty compared to Nifty. So this, what we saw here, it is exactly doing the same thing here with this indicator, CRS indicator. So here at the top, I am getting the ratio chart, the spread chart of the instrument compared to Nifty. This is the price chart of that instrument, and this is the RSI. of the instrument. This is another template that I follow because this will clearly give me when there is a breakout on the relative strength chart. I can see over here, see there's a horizontal line I've drawn here for Tata Steel BSL, where it has broken out of a previous high. It has broken out above that. So we can clearly see breakouts here. We can draw trend lines. Everything we can do here. Whatever we do on a normal
Correct.
chart, we can do here also. See, Praj Industry has broken out here. This was their last high of this indicator. It has broken out above that.
Hello, sir.
All of that analysis of trend lines, horizontal breakout, everything we can do on the ratio chart also, which is the comparative chart. We can do it here also.
So,
Hello, sir.
so
I have-
if you take,
Yeah, go ahead.
so if you take a, you said that you can do it over here. So if we take it from a sectoral index and instead of doing the vis-a-vis Nifty, so will it be fine, or we should rather take a benchmark of Nifty rather than taking the sectoral index thing?
See, I prefer considering Nifty, but as I said, if you want, you can change it in the setting. Instead of Nifty, you will select, let's say, CNX metal here. So it will show you over CNX metal. It will show you the metal index. I mean, that is up to you.
So
That is your
basically,
choice.
that is giving you an extra edge, but your preference should be right. The Nifty should be the benchmark index, and we should follow the trend of the index.
Yes, I prefer that because it works. I mean, as I said, Nifty is comprising of the top 50 companies. Your script is outperforming them. What else do you need? It's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
enough.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much.
Hello, sir. If you could open Aarti Industry, I have a doubt there.
Okay, 1 minute. Yes, tell me.
So if we see here into our chart, RSB is above, means it is in strength, but RSI has been giving negative divergence into our chart. So should we take a trade there?
I don't believe in RSI divergence theory at all. I can tell you from my experience, it doesn't work. In point blank, I can give it to you that divergence doesn't work. Do not take trades based on RSI divergence. RSI divergence, which the reason it appears is a function of technicality. It has nothing to do with whether the stock will be bullish or bearish. That is a mistaken concept. I know of many practitioners of RSI who are propounding that theory, and I have found it to be totally false, and it is misleading, and it will give you wrong trades.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, apart from RSI, just by looking at from the number perspective, that if it is above 50, we should initiate the trade. What is the exact meaning of RSI? I mean, what does it constitute of other than relative strength?
No, RSI is not relative strength. Please do not confuse RSI with relative strength. Relative strength, as I explained, is the performance of your stock compared to a benchmark like Nifty. That is relative strength. RSI is not that at all. RSI is the performance of that security in the last 14 days by itself, not compared to anything.
Okay, got it. So
Both
other
are
than
totally different. Please do not confuse relative strength with RSI.
okay, sir, apart from RS and RSI, do you also look at open interest or cumulative open interest or anything of that sort for a particular FNO stock?
I do look at it, but frankly speaking, once this chart template, this trading system is giving me a buy, I don't bother about anything else. I know this is going to be a good enough trade for me to take. It has a very high success rate, and I have a small stop loss on it. If I get stop loss on it, I get out. I don't bother so much with open interest. If this template is generating a buy, I might look at open interest details if I'm buying because of other reasons, like if there's maybe a result trade I'm taking, or if there is somebody has recommended something and I'm taking, then I will look at open interest data, I will analyze all that. But if this system is giving me a buy, I don't need to look at anything else.
In this template, there is volume also. So do you look at volume also?
No, I do not look at volume. It is just there by default because in TradingView, when you're bringing up the price chart, the volume comes up automatically, but I'm not looking at the volume here. This system, only 3 things need to be looked at. Breakout in price, breakout in RS, where the relative strength should be making a new higher high, and RSI above 50. these three things are there, you are done. You don't need to look at any fourth thing. You can take the trade.
Sir,
And for taking the
that
There are
sir,
there
there's
are many instances happen that mostly there are failed breakouts. So how do you identify that? Is
So
there any
this is
sign over the chart
so
that we
this
could identify
template,
that?
this DEM template prevents you from getting into false breakout trades, because false breakout will be what? False breakout will be if say Aarti Industries crosses this line here, it goes above this, and then it turns down. So that is why I have this relative strength chart also. This, if it is giving a higher high breakout, the chances of this being a failed breakout is very rare. I mean, it can happen, which is why we have a stop loss in place, but it is very rare. So it is not, I'm only not, let's say, I open the chart for Aarti Industries here. So generally speaking, what anyone would look at as a price chart, right? You will just see the price chart, breakout hua, chalo le lete hain. I am not doing that, because there the failed breakout is very much a reality. It is a possibility. I am also looking at the relative strength chart. If this is giving me a higher high, the chances of it being a failed breakout trade are very rare. This is based on my own personal experience.
So one question from my side. Yeah. So one question from my side. Can we use this this setup to identify sector rotation or sector churning?
Yes, we can. But in that, as I said, we just change the period for relative strength. So in stocks, we have the period set as 55 days to account for 3 months. To identify sectors, we will still use the same RS indicator, but instead of 55 days, we just put it as 14 days. Then you can use it.
Okay.
From a execution standpoint, so and planning perspective, so while you do scanning at a daily basis, and you also look at the 2-hour chart, how do you execute really? I mean, is there a specific plan or execution template as well?
See, plan is basically what I just told you, that if there is a breakout, we enter with a stop loss, which we keep trailing upwards. Main thing in this strategy is to keep your stop loss upward trailing, where as the trade continues to move in your favor, your stop loss keeps going up, so that you are always exiting at a profit.
So we need to monitor it at a certain frequency.
Yeah, I mean, depends on, if you are looking at the 2-hour chart, you need to monitor it every 2 hours. That is 9:15, 11:15, 1:15, and 3:15. If you are not looking at the 2-hour chart, you're only going by the daily chart, then you can look at it twice in the day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, you're good enough. You don't need to look at it more than that. But let us know that these are, let us be clear that these are active trades. These are not positions where we just buy and we close our eyes and we go away for the day and don't come back and look at the screen for 2 days. No, these are active trades. They have to be managed.
Got it.
Can we use this for a day trading?
Yes, absolutely. I'm using it for day trading.
Nikunj, consider if we have some investment for some couple of months or for 6 months period, and in case we are looking for the exit criteria, so apart from the stop loss, would there be any behavior of the RS and the RSI that we need to focus on? Consider stop loss doesn't hit, but there's some behavior that we can perceive and we can be thinking to exit little early because we know the stop loss will be hitting.
Yes, that's a very good question. So that indicator also you will get on this RS chart. Before the price turns down, you will see this RS chart has suddenly started turning down. When that happens, you can exit.
But
So
there
then
could
can
also
we
be
see
a behavior.
divergences?
Sorry, could there also be behavior, because the RS, like it's never be a straight line, it will go down and again it will go up. So is there any kind of a particular observation we have to make, like it's making double bottom, something like that, then we can perceive, no, it is time to exit the
See,
stock?
any kind of analysis that you do on normal charts, you can also utilize for the RS indicator. It works on that. So whether it is a double bottom or break of previous low, all of that you can utilize here. But I am telling you, if you want to be in a situation which you just described, where before your trailing stop loss is hit, you want to get an exit if there's going to be a fall. If this RS line turns down, if it turns negative towards the south, then you are going to get a price fall eventually. And that will happen sooner than you think. So if you want to avoid even a trailing stop loss being hit, that is the time you should exit.
Just let's take this example of RT industry that you have on the screen. The particular point that we are discussing now, where it has already broken the previous high. If you look at that particular peak, that particular peak also is being considered as the last point where it has broken the earlier high. So on that peak, if you see, it took the little dip, and then again it has shooted to the high. So these kind of behavior, I was saying that it took the dip, but again it may rise.
Correct.
So how
And
do we perceive that? Yeah.
No, so it will happen. You see, there is no harm in my books. There is no harm in exiting a trade and then taking it again. So if Aarti Industries chart, IS chart is showing me a dip here, I would exit and I will again buy when it again makes a higher high over here. I will again enter into the position. I don't mind exiting my position and re-entering it as long as my chart pattern is confirming to me that I should behave in that way, because then my own bias doesn't come into play. Then I'm going only by what my chart is telling me. If my chart is telling me to exit, I exit. It tells me to re-enter, I will re-enter.
This strategy is pretty suitable for the daily trading. But if
Yes.
you are taking it for some month time frame or 3 months time frame, then would that
Yeah,
be
this
suitable?
is a completely trading strategy. This is not for investments.
Okay, then it's clear.
Basically,
So this
my
trading,
Telegram channel is mostly for short-term trades, as I have mentioned many times. That if there is anything which has to be taken as a position and held on to for a long time, I will always say about that separately. But mostly it's for short-term trades, and this is the strategy by which it works. So you immediately look for your 10% move, hopefully get better than that, and you trail your stop loss higher. But if not, then you definitely move out with that.
Okay, Nikush, thanks.
sir, is this a paid version of the TradingView platform, or
Yes.
even
Yes,
in
this
the
is a
basic
paid
version?
version, because the paid version only you can get up to 5 chart templates. So I'm utilizing 4, as you can see. So there's the sector chart, there is the RS stock chart, there is the CRS indicator chart, and there is a basic chart pattern here for cup and handle and all those kind of which I utilize. These are 4
And
chart
you feel
templates I utilize. This comes only in paid version.
you feel that it is better than the Zerodha one, what we use in Zerodha generally?
I haven't tried Zerodha. See, the advantage with TradingView is you get a lot of pre-made indicators. Like I talked about the IS indicator, the CIS indicator, all that you get over here pre-built. So many people are developing code for TradingView, and they are putting it up in the public library for people to use free of cost. So there's a lot of flexibility here when you use TradingView. I don't know how much Zerodha has all these functionalities. I haven't tried Zerodha.
What about investing.com?
Yeah, investing again, I mean, I know of a few friends who are utilizing it. I had also seen it once. Again, I don't find this library of indicators there, which is there in TradingView. This library of indicators is the beauty of TradingView.
So I just wanted to have some clarification, which we were discussing earlier. You have presented a chart of Nalco with the CNX metal index. So that chart, what was the depiction of the chart? Because I was not very clear. Like the CNX and the Nalco chart got merged. So what type of analysis we have to do it over there to take a trade or to take an investment bet or any kind of a thing?
Okay, let us pull up the chart again.
Yeah. Yeah, what kind of a, see this the chart which is showing in a candlestick, what type of price these are showing, like Nalco comparison with the CNX Miltex?
Yes, this is showing Nalco divided by CNX metal. It's a ratio chart.
Okay, so what type of trade can be done? What analysis you are doing it over here?
So I
like
can
what
see
your
over here that Nalco has not performed all that well compared to the metal index, because you can
Yes.
see it has been on a declining trend. This is the ratio line, right? The ratio has been on a
Correct.
declining trend, means metal index has been outperforming and Nalco has not been performing all that well. There are other constituents of the metal index that are performing better. But now
Correct.
Nalco has finally, from this moment on, it has started showing an up move in the ratio chart, which means
So
the
can we say that it has made a double bottom kind of a pattern?
Yes, you can say that, and it will be confirmed if it breaks out above this range, because here you can see it has made one top here, one top here. So it has topped out more or less in the same range. It breaks out above this, that will be a fresh breakout in Nalco.
So that will be give a confirmation of a trade, correct?
Correct.
Oh. So once we confirm it over here, and once we take it over the normal RS chart, which with the plain Nalco chart with the comparative of the relative strength, that would give us an edge over it.
No, that would be over analysis. I would say that it's okay to work with any one of them. Like if this system is giving you a buy, you can go only with this. Or if this is giving you a buy, you can go only with this. We are already making this into a pretty comprehensive read over and above what people generally look at. Generally, people only look at the price chart and they trade. Here we are already doing that extra step. So we don't need to combine two of them to make a decision.
So okay, well, I got my point clear. Like once we need to just find out this the sectoral chart, and after doing the sectoral chart, we need to find out the leaders in the sector which are performing. So that can be a good idea.
Correct.
Nikunj, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Hello. So there are two charts here. Great. I mean, lot of learning till now. So there are two charts here side by side. One is this 1 day, and other is the 2 hour.
Yes.
So how do you set this up in a trading view, and what is the use of this kind of a setup?
Setting up is pretty easy. Once you are in the paid version, then if you click on this window here, select layout. This gives you the layout. So you can select a split screen layout where you have two different templates and you can select from here. So in the paid version, it is easily available. In a minute, you can set it up. Now, why I'm using 2 hour is I also do some short-term trading using this system, using the RS trading system. I would not recommend the 2 hour chart to anyone who is starting with the RS system right now. That is why I asked you to ignore the right side of this chart. You should concentrate on this daily chart for the time being until you get more comfortable with the RS indicator. This is the most important part of this chart. Once you start seeing how it works and how beautifully it works, then only you should come to the 2 hour chart and consider a shorter time frame.
Excellent. So another question related to the same is on the 1 day chart, I see that you use a line graph, whereas on the 2 hour you're using a candle chart. So why would that be a?
The reason for that is candlesticks, for me, candlestick charts have a lot of noise in them. The highs, the lows, the wicks, etc. They confuse the analysis, which is okay if I'm looking at a basic chart like this. I'm looking at a basic price chart. It is okay. I would prefer to look at the candles. But when I'm working with the RS trading system, my focus is here. Try and understand that my focus is on the RS chart, not on the price chart. So on the price chart, I do not want noise. I do not want small things to disturb my analysis. That is why I've taken line chart, because line chart will consider only the closing prices. There's less noise. That is for the daily one. For the 2 hour one, since the candle is important, if there is, I'm seeing that, okay, some top is being made or a bottom is being made. So for the 2 hour, I consider the candle chart.
Hello.
But basically this right hand side of the chart, you can more or less ignore. I mean, I also, frankly speaking, do not use this much. Mostly I go with this left hand side, the daily indicator. This is what works beautifully. 2 hour chart is just I have kept for my reference. I didn't want to delete it. Otherwise, I would have deleted it before doing the session, because it is, I think, probably just causing noise unnecessarily. And you should not consider this 2 hour chart at all.
Can you please let us know what are the parameters? What are the parameters for RS? Like for RSI, we say that above 50 is a momentum is strong. Above below 30, it is bearish, and in between 30 to 50, it is no trade zone, or it's basically this. For what about RS? If RS, what are the values we need to keep in mind for RS trade?
See, first and foremost, RS needs to, if we are buying, RS needs to be above 0. Because if it is 0 or below 0, it means our stock is not outperforming the benchmark Nifty. We want it to be outperforming Nifty, so it definitely needs to be above 0. That is one factor. Second factor is, when we are entering the trade, at that time, the RS chart should be making a new high. It means whatever the previous high was, it should be going above that high. These are the only two things you need to consider for RS.
See, the you said that it should break the high. It means the previous high it has got the broken, right? Not the previous earlier highs.
Yes, correct. Not all the highs. That is not possible. Just the previous high is good enough. Previous high is getting broken. We are getting into an uptrend in the RS chart. Price chart is giving a breakout. RSI is bullish. 3 reasons of confirmation. We are good enough.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Nikunj, how do you set up the screener for this? Like, how do you screen the stocks based on RS? I mean, do you use any?
I had just explained that. I had shown the define edge. You were not logged in that time. You came late.
Yeah, I was late by 15 minutes. Yes.
Okay, so I have covered that part. I would not want to repeat it again. We can probably take that separately.
Okay, sure. Thanks. No problem.
Yeah.
So it can be done only in Define Edge, or it's available in charting.com. Like
Anywhere, as I
was using
mentioned,
charting.com.
there are many websites and many software available to run scans. You can use any one. Charting is also very good. I have used charting myself. I have used some different. I've used Stockage also, as I was telling everyone earlier. You can use any software. It doesn't matter. All of them have very good scanning platforms. It is the whole idea is such a large universe of stocks. We want to make our work easier by sorting out which are the stocks for which we should look at the charts, because we cannot look at 500 charts, right? So that is the only idea behind running scans, that okay, these are the stocks right now in momentum, these are the stocks I want to look at, and then you come on this chart and you analyze it and you decide which stock you want to go for.
So do you have any idea, like investing does has a RS thing, the relative strength, because they have RSI. I did not find relative strength in investing.
I don't think they have it. As I said, investing does not have as many indicators as TradingView does. Their platform is pretty small compared, I mean, in terms of the public library of indicators. They only have the basic ones. And same might also be the case with Zerodha and others. No other platform that I am aware of has even 1% of the kind of public library of indicators that TradingView is having.
Okay,
Nikunj, my question again, last question, was this left-hand chart which you use, the line chart?
Yeah.
What kind of risk return that you have generally achieved with this kind of, one can achieve with this, and what is the general holding period if one wants to follow this kind of left-hand chart, line chart kind of then?
Yeah, generally speaking, I have seen that returns of anywhere between 8 to 12% is easy to come by in this system with a very small stop loss, and the success rate of this strategy is almost 70 to 90%.
And holding period generally for this?
Holding period would be approximately anywhere between 3 to 7 days.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Nikunj, how about position sizing, Nikunj? How do you position size your trade or allocation for that
I'll show
matter?
you. I'll show you. That is a very good question. Let me come to that. I had posted a template also, in fact, in the group. I don't know if people have seen. It was about position management only. Just give me a minute, huh? Just trying to locate where that file is. Okay, I'm not being able to find that file right now, but I had posted something on the Telegram group. I can again send it after this webinar for your reference. Basically, what I do for position management is, so once I have decided, like supposing here I have decided that I want to go long on Nalco, right? Based on this trade, based on this chart, I'm deciding relative strength is looking good. RSI is bullish, price has made a new breakout. So I want to go long on Nalco. What I will do is for levels, I will look at Define Edge software, trade point. So I'll open up the Nalco chart on trade point. This is the point and figure chart of Nalco. So here I'll get all my levels with which I want to work. So this would be my target. I mean, this is again point and figure charting. I will need to do a separate session on that altogether. So this would be my first target, which I would have. This will also give me my stop loss levels. So my stop loss level, first of all, my buy level. My buy level would be the double top buy level here. 65.5 is where I will enter the trade. And my stop loss will again be this moving average here. So I get my entry level, my stop loss level, all those levels are available to me. What I do is I put it in an Excel and I check what is my risk in that trade per lot. So I also put the lot size and I check what is the risk that is coming. If it is a stop loss which is going to get hit, what is the risk I will face? What is the loss I will face in that instance per lot? If that risk is more than 10,000 rupees per lot, I typically do not take that trade. I will avoid that trade. Even if it is looking good on the chart, I will avoid that trade because stop loss is too far away. If the risk is within 10,000 rupees per lot, then I will take that trade with stop loss level defined. And I know that, okay, for example, I want to make a total loss, maximum loss of maybe 5 lakhs on this trade. So if my stop loss level is showing that per lot, I am having 5,000 rupees risk, then I will take the number of lots accordingly that will not set me back by more than 5 lakhs. Am I making any sense?
Totally.
This will become more clear once I post that sheet again on the Excel, on the Telegram group. I'll do that. You look at that sheet and you will be able to understand how position management should be, position sizing should be done. Because you first define how much risk you want to take in a trade in terms of amount of rupees. And then you work out that based on your stop loss level, what should be the size of your trade. That is the correct way of defining the position size.
So Nikunj,
I just posted on chat.
Instead of using point and figure chart, can we use trading view to set the entry point, target, and stop losses? A simple line chart or candlestick chart.
You can also do that. I have just found the trading view. This trade point is for this PNF chart is further refining it to the very minuscule level. So I find it useful. But you can definitely use the normal candlestick chart. There's no problem with that. I was doing that earlier with success. So everyone was asking me about my Nifty view and why I'm bearish on the markets. So this is one primary reason. You see here, these are what we call anchor columns in PNF, which anchor column means it is a big column. It is an important column. These are 3 of them are giving targets in the range of 13,700, 13,500 kind of level. So 3 anchor columns have been generated, which are giving targets of 13,600 approximately. And there's only one bullish anchor column with this one, which is giving a higher target. But here the problem is, if I do a 45-degree trend line here, then we are below this point. So if breakout happens above this level, 14,812, then I would be bullish to play for this level. But until we are below that, and we have generated triple bottom sell here. If you see this line that is here, horizontal line, this is a triple bottom sell on Nifty. So this has been generated and we are sitting on 3 bearish anchor columns which are giving lower targets. That is the reason why I'm having a bearish view on Nifty.
So you mean that a close above 14,850 would be a confirmation for our trend?
Correct. I mean, that would be a confirmation that, okay, I want to then change my stance and become bullish in the market again. If again the market throws me out, it's possible. But I will want to become bullish.
Can others please mute their mic? Can others please mute their mic? There is a lot of background noise. Thanks.
So basically, yeah, the closing basis, it is important, not on the intraday basis or just a hourly basis.
No, in here I would, why? Even intraday is good enough. Intraday also, if we cross this level, 14,850, it would be reason for me to change my stance. But yeah, obviously it doesn't happen in a minute. So you have to see that the breakout is sustaining. That is important.
Yeah, that's why I told that the best confirmation should be on a closing basis. So that would be giving a good edge rather than going on a doubtful edge.
Can do that. Yes, you are correct. Okay, let me just check the chat again.
Sir, one question. Can you analyze the Nifty chart on the candlestick pattern and give a explanation, sort of? Because point and figure, I think most people, including me, don't understand. So if a candlestick chart analysis can be done.
It can be
That
done,
would be
but frankly speaking, candlestick chart analysis of Nifty makes no sense. I mean, it is not not something useful. You see, everyone is looking at the same chart. So the operator also, he is trying to throw you out of the trade. He's trying to make you take a wrong trade. He will also he will try to basically manipulate this chart. So it is very highly prone to manipulation. It gives false breakouts, gives false breakdowns. I mean, I look at it, but it doesn't work well.
So can you sort of list a couple of examples wherein point and figure would give us indications which the candlestick will not be able to, or the advantages of that?
See, the advantage of that is not many people are looking at PNF charts, right? So when the market operator is trying to manipulate the market or move the market in the which way it is useful to him, how does it work? He will make the maximum money if the retail is caught on the wrong foot. So to make retail get caught on the wrong foot, the easiest thing to do is manipulate the candlestick chart because everyone is looking at that. No one is looking at the PNF chart, or hardly very few people are looking at it. So obviously it is not something which people are looking at, operators are looking at, because they don't think that it will manipulating that is going to help them anyway. That is what I have seen. PNF charts have generated far better signals for Nifty trade than candlestick chart can ever do.
And that is true for Bank Nifty as well?
Yes, that is true for Bank Nifty as well. Absolutely.
Okay, because so my question was coming from the fact that I remember Friday late during closing hours, I think on the group you had posted about being bearish on Nifty and Bank Nifty because of the PNF chart, and I could not see that on the candlestick chart. Apart from the fact that it was down 3%, but I could not figure why were you so bullish. I thought it was the volatility of the market that was playing out.
No, it was basically this PNF chart, and I had posted it also when people asked me why the view is there. It was based on this PNF chart where I'm seeing 3 bearish anchor columns giving me a target of 13,600. This we called as cluster target. In PNF terminology, this is called as cluster target. When multiple columns are giving you the same target, they usually come true. So, and here in the bullish column, there is only one, which is generating a higher target. That too is not meeting the criteria of basic breakout also. So this is the reason.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Nikunj, you took 0.1%, right? Why is that? Because generally we either go for 0.15.
No, 0.15 was for stocks. You are absolutely right, but that is for stocks. For index, we don't take 0.15. For index, we take either 0.05 or we take 0.1. I prefer taking 0.1.
So Nikunj, do you use same Zerodha platform or some other platform for trading?
No, I'm not using Zerodha anymore. I tried it in between. It did not really work well for me, so I'm not using it anymore.
Okay, thank you.
So do you advise taking a trade by taking a clear trade, or better take a hedge trade? Suppose if we are going long on any stock, should we buy a put, or it's a clear wrong without any hedging?
I don't do hedging. I would recommend that you can do hedging if you understand options. See, frankly speaking, I don't understand options. I don't get the theta, beta, and all that Greeks. So I try and stay away from options. Somebody who can understand the logic behind its working, they can try their hand at it. But for me, this RS system is the king of all systems. If this is giving me a clear buy signal, I don't need any hedging. I'm good with my stop loss.
Okay.
So for stocks, the RS system is great. But for index, is there a way we can use RS? Because it's in itself, I mean, benchmark. So is there a way wherein Nifty can also have a certain base to compare to?
No, how would that be? You answered your question yourself. I mean, that is a benchmark. How can we compare the same instrument to itself? No way of doing that.
With other markets or something of that sort?
That we can do. We do that on a weekly basis usually, where we compare all the international stock market indices and we see which ones are performing, outperforming, and which ones are underperforming. That is another theory called relative rotational graph. You can Google it. Relative strength rotational graph, RRGs they are called. So that study is there, but again, there's a different software for that called Optuma, which is very expensive. So that is like really expensive one. So most of the big money managers and fund managers and PF managers, etc., they utilize all that to compare stock market indices of the world, which ones are outperforming or underperforming. We don't have that in TradingView.
Okay, thank you.
Nikunj, do you have timing related with the purchase? I mean,
Sorry, please repeat the question.
Do you have timing associated with your purchase? I mean, you decide the trade earlier evening based on the closing, and then take the trade the next day morning at particular time only, or something like that?
So generally, let's say at the end of the day, I run my scans and I come out with my list of stocks. Then I look at this chart in the RS trading system as to which chart is looking good, which stocks I want to keep an eye on the next morning. And then typically speaking, I will open our basic price chart of that stock. Let's say Aarti Industries. I will come to the 15-minute chart and I will look for an opening range breakout, OIB. So opening range breakout is when the stock breaks out of its first 15-minute range during that day. If the stock gives an opening range breakout, then for me that trade is on for the day in terms of the long trade.
Thank you.
Sure.
Nikunj, do you maintain any Google Excel sheet to follow your stocks? Because if you have some good numbers in your hands, then it's difficult to switch between the graphs and check what are the stats at the moment. Do you follow something like a sheet where you can get all the indices and all the stats over there?
Yeah, I typically make a sheet for every day based on my day end analysis the previous day. I make a sheet for the next day, which are the stocks that I have on my watch list, what is the entry level, what is the target, what is the stop loss, all that I put on that sheet. And then based on that only I take the trade. I don't try to keep it in my mind. Everything is there in black and white in an Excel sheet. And I just follow that sheet during the day.
So the template is you have defined your own, or you something you have just following any standard template on the available on the internet?
I have defined on my own. It is the same one which I had posted on the group. I'll post it again. So I had in fact recommended that I would say that everybody who is doing trading should follow this template. I had said that and I had put the sheet. I'll just post it again.
Is it possible if we get the RS stats on Google Sheet by using some formula? Because I tried pulling up the RSI index on the Google Sheet to follow my stocks, but I couldn't do that because it requires some algorithm over there. But for the RS, do you have any idea if we can have that RS stats there?
I'm not understanding. What stats are you looking for?
Like, okay, when you say that you want to enter a stock, if it is the RS value is above 0.
Correct.
And if it is under 0, like consider I have a list of 10 stocks, and is it possible on the Google Sheet if I can have my RS value also populated, and I can see if the list of in my watch list are having the RS value positive or negative, the trend it is following. So
yes, that is possible. Someone has done it also. Somebody had sent me a worksheet, and it was having a comprehensive list of all the stocks with RS values, and it was also giving a breakout indicator and all that. But I am not using it. If you look for it, you might find it. I know that somebody has made something like that.
Okay.
Nikunj, do you use a volume profile? What are your
No, I
views
do
on
not
that?
use volume profile. It's a good indicator to use, but I don't use it.
Do you have any long-term investments, more than few months? I mean, and do you have any setup which you use entirely differently from this? And
so long-term investments are not based on price setups. They are based on my analysis of the business. So, for example, like there's the Apollo Group stocks that I have been bullish on for a long time as an investor. Then I had recommended CG Power at 13 rupees when the Murugappa group was taking over the company. So 13 rupees, it has gone to 70 rupees in last 4 months. So those are investments based on the value of the business or something which I see as especially a corporate event. If there's a merger, takeover, something like that is happening, and I see something good happening in the company, something is changing, then I make long-term investments in that company. That is not based on these setups. These are trading setups. These are not investing setups.
But you don't use at all when you have a based on fundamental. You don't use this trades to enter nothing. You don't.
No. Of
use
course,
it
I
at
look
all.
at. Of course, I look at the charts. I'm not saying I don't look at the charts at all. Of course, I look at the charts, but I'm just saying that there is no defined system for it. That is your basics of technical analysis will again come in, where you see the price pattern, you see the chart, you decide what target you can get in the long term. All that I do, but there is no specific system for that. I mean, that is very general stuff which everyone is doing.
How many positions do you take at a time before they work? Then you only take new positions, or you generally take basket positions or one position at a time? What kind of strategy do you use for that?
I have multiple positions running at any given point of time. See, I'm a pretty active trader. I am not like somebody who will see the market in the morning, go away for the day, and then again look at it the next day. No, I'm a pretty active trader, so I can manage my trades very well. In the sense, these 4 charts are always open in my system when the market is open, and all of my trades would have been taken based on one of these systems, either the RS system or the CRS system or the sector trade. So, but it will be based on one of these charts. So whichever trades I'm having, I keep monitoring them during the day, and whenever I need to exit or book a profit or take a stop loss, I do that. Yeah, but one thing is I don't let bias come into my trading at all. That is why I find that Excel sheet very important, where the prior day I have entered what is the level at which I want to enter, what is the level at which I will take a stop loss, what is the target, all that level is defined. So next day, it is not that while sitting in front of the screen or by some excitement or some news or something, I will jump and do something else. No, I will follow my sheet. Simple as that. If I don't get my entry at the price I wanted to enter, I will not enter. I will pass down the trade. I will look for the next trade. There are no dearth of opportunities, right?
So Nikunj, when you take the trade on the basis of daily chart, you keep the stop loss in the system or you keep it on the closing basis?
I keep it in the system.
Okay.
Stop loss is entered straight away. As soon as the trade is taken, I enter the stop loss. See, that is always advisable, right? Because then you're taking the emotions out of it. Kya hota hai typically, what we behave. We think that, okay, at 100, if it goes below 100, we will sell, we'll take a stop loss. When it actually comes to below 100, then we think, nahi, abhi to bhad jayega, why bother, let it be. And then we might act in an irrational manner. I'm not saying everyone does that, but it's possible that one behaves in an irrational manner that time and does not take the stop loss, which was decided earlier. So rather, why give that chance to anybody? Just put it in the system, it's best. Then it's not in your hands. That level comes, whatever stop loss level decided it comes, you exit the trade, no problem. One should never be scared to make a loss in the market or take a stop loss. I think taking stop loss is very important because then you're cutting your losses there. That is extremely important. The idea has to be when we are taking trades, we should maximize the profit. When we are making loss, the loss should be small. That is the whole idea.
Do you convert any short-term trade which has worked exceedingly well and crossed beyond your target because of the momentum with which it has gone, and then you just decide to hold it for a longer time because it is running well?
No. So a trade is a trade. It cannot become an investment. Okay, I might decide to hold the trade for a little longer than I had originally planned because the trade is going in the favor and I'm able to increase my trailing stop loss every day. That's a different matter. That can happen, but trade cannot become an investment. I can't hear anything. You had a lot of static there.
But in the
I still can't hear you. Can you please type your question in the chat box?
Nikunj, any views on the realty sector, particularly DLF? Do you have any views around that?
We can take a look. Realty sector right now is not doing anything. I mean, it is just seems to be a laggard sector. I would want this RS line to cross above 0, then realty sector will show some traction. That is as far as the sector itself is concerned. And now you asked about DLF, the stock, right?
Yeah.
Even DLF is not doing anything at all. You can see the RS line, it's like below 0, not started to show any kind of uptrend. Even if basic uptrend starts, then we can still look at. Right now, there is nothing. I mean, it's like a listless trade. You know, you want to be. My point is, why should we identify that, okay, I want to buy DLF and then look for a reason to buy DLF? Rather, let the system throw to us that you need to buy DLF, you need to buy this stock, you need to buy Nalco. Let the system tell us instead of having our favorite that, okay, we want to buy this stock, let us see if there's any buying in that. Because वो नहीं है, इसमें अभी नहीं दिख रहा है. I can't see that kind of buying in DLF. But
what about the sugar sector? See, the leader, which is
very
Balrampur
good, very good. Sugar sector is hot, and I have recommended Balrampur Chini and Dhampur. Now everything else is also starting to look good, whether it is Awadh Sugar, Mawana Sugar, Ugal Sugar.
So can you please show us a chart and your views on the Dwarikesh Sugar?
Yeah, there is no index for sugar stocks as such, but I can always check for Dwarikesh Sugar. But even yesterday, I was running my scans for the week, and sugar was coming on top of it everywhere. All the sugar stocks are heavily bullish. Yeah, Dwarikesh has already given breakout above 37. So that was the entry point for the trade. Now it is in
so
the
now what should be now what should be the stop loss if I have taken a trade? So what should be the stop loss? Should we follow it?
No, that depends at what level you have entered.
I have entered at 37.5. Looking at this graph last week.
Okay, so now the trade has moved in your favor by more than 5 to 10%. So you should trail your stop.
To be
loss
honest,
at
it is
least to
yeah. So now my trade has given me at, if I suppose it is approximately 16 to 16.5% above my price. So what should be my stop loss? Like what should be the stop loss right now, which I need to follow?
So I would say you can trail it with 3%, which means अभी 42 है, 42 में अगर 3% जाता है price में, so it comes down to 40.5.
4150 क्या है? 40.5 के आसपास का stop loss लगा के राइट करें.
हाँ.
और अगर ये सर ये अगर वापस नीचे आता है तो वापस accumulate भी करना चाहिए क्या?
That will depend. See, again, there are two ways people trade, right? One is that some people prefer buying on pullback, where if this comes to, let's say 36, you will buy. So that is a pullback trader. I don't do that. What I will rather do is I will wait for this RS chart, because अगर इतना नीचे आएगा तो ये RS chart उसके पहले ही नीचे आना चालू हो जाएगा. I will want to wait for this RS chart to again show an uptrend before I buy. So that might mean I don't buy at 36. It might mean I buy at 38. I don't know. I will buy based on this RS chart. So when there is momentum on the upside, I will not catch a falling knife. I will not catch that the stock is coming down. So I'll assume that it will stop over here or it will stop over here. That I will not do.
That is very good. Even I do that. Like it's better to take a running stock rather than a falling knife. But my query is like, if you say that the RS will start falling, so then when you trade a trade, you will take a trade when RS is going to beat this high?
No, I will take a trade when RS starts showing an uptrend again. So supposing this comes
uptrend,
to
yes,
okay. Sugar comes to this 35, 36 level, and that time RS chart starts showing an uptrend again, then I can enter the trade.
So uptrend in what sense? Like if it present it is at 52 for 0.52, and it has fallen to 28, for example.
Yeah. After
Then,
falling, if it starts showing strength again, and the chart again will, because this will start going up before the price does. IRS chart, if the stock is having strength, will start going up before the stock goes up. So if this happens, and my view on sugar sector is bullish, and I'm bullish on Dhoike sugar, then I'm saying you might take that trade.
Okay, I got it, man. So you'll not wait for the RS to beat like the 50 levels right now, which is presently at the 50 levels.
No,
As soon as you see
see, it will not stay at this level, right? If it is going to come down, this level will not stand. This graph will turn down, and this will disappear.
Yes. So no, this will disappear. That is okay, but the earlier high you said that the last time that RS should also break the earlier high.
Yeah. So typically, what happens is in the journey down also, this graph will have some bumps. It will show some rise also. It will not be a one-way down. So when a previous high is taken out in those bumps, that is good enough. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Okay. No. Now I understand. But my query, what you said that in the between, if you say in the right hand side, which is showing at the point 20 level.
This graph will come something like this, right? It will come here, then again it will go up, again come down. So it will make a
intermediate tops can be the intermediate high can be taken as a reversal kind of a trade.
Yes, correct.
And yes, I got it. Thank you.
Just the previous high has to be taken out. That's all. It doesn't have to be the previous top. Just any previous high.
Yes.
It's
I got
taken
your
out,
point.
and it is upward rising. That's all we are looking.
Upward rising. Basically the rise should be towards the north, not in the falling down to the south.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
If I entered at 37, what would be a stop loss, ideal stop loss?
So that's what we just discussed, no? He entered at 37, and I advised him to keep a stop loss of 3% from current level.
No, not now. When the price was at 37, then what would have been stop loss? First stop loss. If that was not in favor of
trade here, when you were taking entering this trade here. So then I would keep it as something like this. 32.85 is a decent level. I would keep it a little below that. So let's say 32.
Then the stop loss would be not very wide, more than 10%, I think.
Yeah. So the thing is, the whole idea behind IS trading system is to take trades with a small stop loss, with the assumption that hardly any trades will go wrong because you have confirmation of three factors. One is price breakout, another is breakout on RS chart, third is RSI bullish. So the whole idea is to take trades with a small stop loss.
But this stop loss is big enough. No, it is more than 10%, and our target is 10%. So risk to reward is also not 1:1 in this case only.
So either we don't take the trade or we reduce the size of the trade. So that is why I said for position managing, position sizing, it is very important. We first decide how much risk we want to take in the trade in terms of monetary terms, and then accordingly we decide the size of the trade. कि अगर मेरा stop loss 10% है, उसके लिए मैं ट्रेड का साइज भी छोटा करूं कि जिससे मेरा लॉस का लेवल उससे ज्यादा नहीं बढ़े.
Okay.
Sir, can you explain the reason behind Sudarshan Chemical?
Sudarshan Chemical had come up on my scan, and also the chart is very good. 1 minute, I'll just open it.
Sir, what is the target we expect? Suppose the upside is in our favor. In our view, then how much should we sell, on which price we should sell?
See, Sudarshan Chemical, I'm looking at the chart. I am seeing that I have marked over here target 900. This is because what has happened is we made a low here. This was 290 that we made a low, and the interim top made was here 600. So as per Dow theory, this difference between this 300 and 600, which is 300 rupees, this becomes the next target. So added to 600, we add 300, target is 900. This is as per Dow theory.
Sir, if trade is in our favor, in our what we have expected is going upside, then at which point we should sell it?
See, firstly, I already mentioned on Friday that Sudarshan Chemical, please ignore the call because market is turning down. So
Yes, sir.
should have exited. But if not exited, then as soon as we see this IS line starting to turn down, we should exit it.
Okay. Sir, if trade is going in our favor only, for example, an XYZ trade goes in our favor and it is 40-50% up, then should we ride it or sell it?
Then you can ride it, just keep a trailing stop loss of 3%, which means supposing Sudarshan Chemical goes to 800. So at that time when Sudarshan Chemical is trading at 800, your stop loss will be 776, which is 3% below 800.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Nikhil, do you have any concept of pyramiding up?
Not in this RS trading system. Pyramiding is done for investments, not for trading.
Okay. So for trading, you don't do that.
No, because trading I am usually not taking for very long time. None of my trades I'm carrying for more than 2 weeks. So there is no concept of pyramiding in there. If it is more positional, I am carrying for a few months, then we can do pyramiding. But since I am not doing that kind of trading, investment is long term, investment can be pyramided, but trading is anywhere between 10 to 15 days maximum. So there is no concept of pyramiding at all.
Thanks, Nikhil.
Nikunj, are you planning to have a session for the investment perspective, like for some long term, for some months? Like consider the scenario is the sugar sector and the metal sector are very bullish. So people must be looking as an investment point of view, like if we invest and hold it for some few months to see and if how it goes and then reap the profits. So do you plan to have any session for the investment perspective?
I haven't thought about it in those terms. We can probably do it. It's not such a difficult thing to do. There, I would talk more about patterns such as head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, cup and handle, etc., which are long-term patterns that one can derive targets for. So I can do that. I haven't considered it yet. Maybe we can, if there's enough interest in the group, we can organize.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, guys, I think we've had a good session, covered most everything, and I'm looking to end it now unless there are more questions.
No, it was a very good session, learning session, and it was very informative. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad everyone enjoyed. Please do take a look at the
Excellent.
template I have posted.
Thank you, sir. It was a real informative session. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikunj, for giving us time on Sunday.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks
you
a lot,
very much, Nikunj. This point and figure system or point and figure chart is looking very interesting concept, sir. So I request you to take one session on point and figure chart also. And this was a very excellent session. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Point and figure chart is such a huge topic in itself. I don't know how long I will have to go if I take that session.
No,
Sir, are there any
basics about-
resources for that point and figure chart to learn?
Okay, let me see what resources I can look up. How I learned, I'll just take a look how I had learned. If I come across something, I'll post in the group.
Sir,
Yeah, I
please
think
take
that
a
is probably a
session,
better way,
please.
right? You let me post some resources for point and figure, do some basic learning on your own, and then if you want to take it to the next level after you understood the basics, then we can probably hold a session.
Oh, very good. That will be good. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.